Just 4 months ago, Tom and Spring Davis were involved in a terrible crash right in downtown Bluffton. It's an accident that could have been avoided, an accident that may have contributed to her mother's death. But as they continue to heal and start this long road to recovery, the man responsible, they're afraid, could walk away with a relative slap on the wrist, all because of a law that's not on the books in South Carolina, a law the Davises are now working to change.
I just remembered I was going to turn to side doctor's care. And then that's the last thing I remember.
That was Tom Davis's last memory of Valentine's Day 2024. He was taking his wife Spring, mother-in-law Colleen, to dinner, making the turn onto Highway 46 in Bluffton when he was hit broadside. Their car flipped 3 times.
The next day I woke up in the trauma unit upstairs. I had a fractured spine, my diaphragm, liver, and pancreas were all cut and bleeding. Pelvic area was fractured. She had a broken pubic bone, a broken tailbone, and a broken bone in her foot. She should not be here now.
Their injuries massive, 10 days in intensive care. But what was worse for Tom, his mother-in-law later died while healing at a rehabilitation facility. Then he was given a ticket for making an illegal turn.
When I thought that I had been at fault of almost killing my wife and then my mother, I felt like my life was over.
As they recovered, the couple felt like something didn't feel right. Tom was a safe driver. What happened? So they got the help of a legal team who uncovered the truth, thanks to those lawyers discovering surprising numbers from the black box inside the other driver's car.
It was able to show us that Mr. Rodriguez, Francisco Rodriguez's vehicle was driving at 87 miles an hour within 3 seconds of impact, and over 80 miles an hour at impact. And no brake was applied until approximately a second before impact. When you're going 87 miles an hour, you're going over 127 feet a second. So they didn't have a chance, and no one in their position would have had a chance.
With new information in their hands, the state troopers changed their report, finding the other driver, Francisco Rodriguez, at fault. But as they wait to see if Highway Patrol will charge Rodriguez, the Davises were shocked to find out something else. He may walk away from this crash clean, even if they didn't.
There's reckless driving that involves a death, and that's a felony. Reckless driving is a misdemeanor. And it carries up to 30 days in jail, but practically no one does more than pay a $400 fine for reckless driving if they're convicted of it. And that's if they're convicted. Even if someone is on a hospital bed for the rest of their life, there's nothing to heighten the charge past reckless driving.
Now the Davises are asking Highway Patrol, lawmakers, anyone to change that law. Change the rules so someone has to pay. Someone has to be responsible for what they do behind the wheel. Spring says it's not just for them, but for her mother and the next person who gets hit.
It would be kind of a tribute to my mother. It's not going to bring my mom back. It would be Colleen's Law. That was my mother's name. That we could have Colleen's Law on the books, that if you're that reckless and you cause this bodily injury, that you will have some sort of recourse and these people will be held accountable.
South Carolina Highway Patrol still looking into this crash. So far, no charges have been filed. There is a law for DUI involving great bodily injury and even for boating under the influence causing great bodily injury, but not reckless driving in the same situation. The Davises and their legal team of Tabor Vaux and Ben Shelton have reached out to several lawmakers to try and change this law. And while they say the response has been positive, no bill has been created.